Okay, I've got to bring up another subject that's been brought up in the last 9 years since 2015. So I was accused of having an issue with ethnic people or gay people, homosexuals, which there's two things wrong with that. Number one, I am homosexual. My parents are very open. My whole family is very open. My dad's uncle was homosexual. My nan's uncle was homosexual. My great grandmother took my mother to go and see Lay Girls when she was 16 in King's Cross. So there's nothing, there. I've had a very comfortable ease to actually come out that I was homosexual. And everybody knew I was homosexual my entire life. And I officially came out in 1992. That's when I came out as homosexual. So there's no issues with gay people. I'm gay. I'm very comfortable with it. And there's no issues with ethnic people, which is why I turned to my family. I turned to both sides of my family with this. And I said, can you stand up? Because on dad's side, I've got Lebanese cousins. I have Lebanese cousins on my dad's side. I've got a cousin who's my second cousin who's half Brazilian on my dad's side. I've got mixed family. I have got on my mother's side, my first cousins, their father is Polish. Well, he's actually my uncle, Richard Michalski. His grandparents are Polish and Russian. His auntie, Nadia Michalski, who's married to John Michalski, is Macedonian. Okay. He's also got Czech Republic auntie as well. So I don't have I've grown up with ethnic people. I mean, everyone seems to forget that Richard Michalski, my auntie Miriam Michalski's husband, and I have been very close since I was 4 years of age. We only don't talk now because of my auntie, to be honest. I mean, I was always close to Richard. Christ almighty, if you got some balls and put my aunt in a place sometimes, we'll be close again now. I adore Uncle Richard. Seriously, he taught me how to ride a motorbike. We have been close. My uncle Richard Michalski and myself, and I spent a lot of time with his family growing up since I was 4 years of age. That's 41 years living very closely in an ethnic family. I was born and raised in ethnic environments. So, do you know why these lies started about me? Is because I don't accept people that have drug or alcohol problems. And I don't. My mother's second husband's family, the Rackleys, I'm from her first husband, the Flemings. The Rackleys have drug and alcohol problems, and I always affiliate that with mental health issues as well. So I don't accept people with drug and alcohol problems. The people that started making up these stories, whether they are homosexual men or ethnic men or women, actually do have drug and alcohol problems. They've got drug addictions. And looked into my life, and I don't know why they ever thought that I would be like-minded to them. Turned around. So during a period of time when I was getting monitored and surveillance by you as well. So I was actually getting monitored by an organisation spied on. So I took it upon myself to put a bit of an acting scene on. Playing a prank on people from 2016 to 2018. Yes, so if you are a Brazilian guy and you've come to Australia and you're getting paid by the government, okay, like this guy Michael, his last name starts with P, he's Brazilian. He only went and did English lessons about once a week, got money off the Australian government, taxpayers' money. He's an immigrant into Australia, and what he did his entire time was smoke cannabis. Then yes, I'm going to have a problem with you. You're damn right I'm going to have a problem with you. Put the whole cannabis issue aside, you're getting a huge amount of money from the Australian taxpayer. You're making a mockery of the system. You're only here studying English. You should have learned that in your country before you come to Australia. And you're getting paid and you're spending the money on drugs, on cannabis. And you're sitting in, Istanbul, and you are smoking cannabis all day and all night, 7 days a week on the Australian taxpayers' time. Yes, I have a problem with that. That's exactly what I do. Or other people that use ice or other drugs frequently. I am extremely anti people with drugs and alcohol issues. Now, a lot of people try to make up that, he was like this because he got mugged after work by ice addicts. Yes, that's right, I did. November 30th, 2007, I was badly mugged and robbed on my way home from work. I was coming home from Star Casino. I was on Cleveland Street, Surrey Hills. I wasn't the only person who was mugged. There was a string of muggings down Devonshire Street. I was mugged on Cleveland Street. It was horrible. It was horrific. You can see the scar still there to my eye. The damages I've suffered from this are huge. They are massive. So yes, of course, I have a massive, huge dislike to people that have drug and alcohol addictions. Yes. But this is something that I've had my entire life. This wasn't just triggered off from being mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007. No, this is my entire life. I've already disliked it. I myself, if I can go out and be like, if I can go to a cigar lounge and have a cigar and have one cigar and enjoy it, if I can go to an Arabic cafe, which I do love, and have hookah or a gilly, a shisha, and sit there and enjoy this and have a coffee or a tea. If I can go and have rolly tobacco or like beautiful, like pipe tobacco, or like log cabin, like an expensive tobacco, and have it sit there in a humidor for a year and just have it as a treat. If I can just have one glass of wine in a blue moon, like if I'm having dinner, it's winter, I'm having a nice steak, and I feel like, oh, a peppercorn Shiraz is going to top this steak off, and it might have been the only time in 2 years I've ever drunk alcohol. Or if I can sit down and have an aperitif, or a martini, and I'm just going to have that one beautiful drink and enjoy it because I don't have any addictive personality, then I can do this. And I look at the society that can't, and they have drugs and alcohol problems, and then they project their problems on the other people because those people believe that everybody's like them. And my attitude is, no, it's not. I've had this issue towards me since 2015 where I've had people from the gay community, Brett Aikenhead, his friend Peter Fry, Mark Hanna, Stephanie DeSalis, all sorts of walks of life. This Brazilian guy who is so protected by Australian immigration. This Brazilian guy, Michael, his last name starts with P, I can't think of what it is at the moment. He knew this Brett Aikenhead guy, and excuse me, all he did was smoke cannabis all day and got paid by the government. And I'm like, okay, even if you have to have, like some of these people, it's like, oh, they only do it once a week. I'm like, that's an addict. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's an addict. And I have a massive hatred towards people that have addiction problems. And this isn't something, so I have had people try to analyze this and say, oh, it's because he was mugged after work by ice addicts. It's like, that's correct. I was mugged after work, November 30th, 2007 by ice addicts, and it cost me everything in damages. That's exactly right, I was. But it has nothing to do with that because I've never changed my entire life. The only time people have ever thought I was like-minded to them was because a group of people gave it information that was directly related to my mother's second husband's family, which means my mother's second husband, Mark Jeffrey Rackley, his son, Daniel Rackley, the half-sister I share with Daniel Rackley because my mother had another daughter with her second husband, and that's Faith Rackley, all those people. So there's been a sort of information, or I say gathering and spreading of false information from extremely unreliable sources who was looking at my mother's second husband's family and then believed that I was like-minded to them because, well, they believed I was related to my mother's second husband's family. I'm like, yes, but I'm not related to them. Their problems are nothing to do with me. That's their problems, and it seems to be hereditary on the Rackleys. I'm a Fleming, two completely different families. And that's what's triggered off this in the last 9 years since 2015, where a group of people are like, oh, Justin's like this. It's like, no, Justin isn't like this, and Justin's never been like this. Justin's stepfather and stepbrother was like this. Justin's half-sister was like this. Justin has barely drunk alcohol in his life, and I have barely drunk alcohol in my life. I do enjoy occasionally. Everything's about in moderation with me, and it's about flavor and aroma. It's about the experience. I love a gilly. I love the shisha. The hookah. Excuse me. So I'm very sore throat. The hookah. I was like, I can roll my tongue. I love it. I love sitting there with different selections of teas and different flavors. Arabic cafe right home, and I love my cigar lounge, and I love my midnight whiskey rolling tobacco, and I haven't smoked any of this for years because I like my cigar lounge environment. Log cabin pipe tobacco. I would never ever vape. If I see somebody vaping, the first thing I look at that and think, you have an addiction problem, because that's just pure nicotine. You are only having that for the nicotine, where I would sit down and roll a beautiful cigarette with expensive tobacco and have that one for the beautiful flavour and aroma, and the rest of us in the humidor for another year, and I may not touch it again for another year. The same with my pipe tobacco with log cabin, which is this right beautiful log cabin tobacco I used to like. And there's other ones from overseas like Rex Cigar Lounge in the Financial District in New York. The same thing I used to with my Arabic tobacco. I would never vape. That is just like, okay, you're going to hit a nicotine. So you're doing this purely because you're a drug user. You have to have your nicotine. Same when I even today I actually had to send a coffee back. I was like, oh God, it was bad. And even the second one was bad. It was better, not as good. Still not as good as what I can do. So I've had people come up to me and say, but you've drinking tea. I'm like, of course I've drinking tea. Because if the coffee's not good, I'm not going to drink coffee. I will drink tea. It's like, if you get invited to someone's house and they're like, do you want a coffee? I'm like, oh, what coffee have you got? And it's like a powdered coffee. Unless it's, I love Arabic coffee or good Italian coffee. They're my two, or Greek coffee. I love Greek and Turkish coffee. But if it's okay, sorry to all Australians, if it's a skip coffee, like in this cafe, I'm like, no, what tea have you got? I love tea. Oh, you got herbal tea? I drink herbal tea or whatever. I have a nice warm drink because I don't need to drink coffee for caffeine. I drink coffee because of the flavour. And the same with chocolate. It's the same thing. If people want a sugar hit or something, it's like, oh, they're going to go and reach for something cheap. Where I want a chocolate. I don't have addiction problem. So I don't use drugs. I can't stand vape. I think it should be illegal. I look at them and go, wow, they found a way for you drug users to have your little hit. And I don't like it. I absolutely don't like it. So I look at people and go and smoke a normal tobacco. Go and smoke a cigarette. Like you're smoking vape because it's a drug. It's a legal drug. You get a hit of nicotine. Why don't you just go, yuck, it's disgusting. That's not who I am as a character. So I don't have a problem with ethnic people. That's insane, considering my background and my family. I don't have a problem with gay people. That's insane, considering I have a great family to be homosexual in. I have a problem with people that have drug and alcohol addictions. That's my problem. And that will always be my problem. And I think majority of society agree with me. I do not like people that have drug or alcohol addictions. It's truly that simple. Because those people and the organisations affiliated with those people ruin it for everybody else. They ruin it for people like myself who enjoy going to an Arabic cafe and just having Arabic tobacco. Okay, they've ruined it. Like, because there's so much restrictions now on people that have not done wrong, people that do like to go and have an occasional glass of red wine with their steak, people that might occasionally go and have an aperitif. People that want to go and go, oh, you know what? Let's go and have I like Holland and Danish cigars. And my go-to when it comes to cigars, everyone's like, oh, a Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, oh no, no, I'm much more fine tasted with that, and it has to be Danish or it has to be like a Holland cigar. Like they're more smooth. They're beautiful. The flavors there. More than a Cuban cigar. No, sorry. I'm even more refined than that. The same with tobacco. So people who have drug and alcohol addictions and have to have their nicotine hit and their alcohol hit and their drug hit, they've ruined it for everybody else. People like myself. So I really do have a problem with people that have addictions. With drug and alcohol addictions, you're damn right I do. But I do not have a problem with people that are ethnic. That's insane. Especially with my family, my upbringing, and I don't have a problem with homosexuals. I am gay. I don't have a problem. And that's where these lies about me started from, because these people who have drug and alcohol, and I'm talking about drug problems that are crystal meth problems, started making up stories about me. These stories have been taken in by the left and other organisations where I'm this big bad police. These stories went to New South Wales Police, and I'm disgusted with our government. Absolutely disgusted with New South Wales Police, where I'm this big bad person that's got homophobic issues and I'm racist and all these bullshit. It's like, no, that's not true. These people that are all got like-minded issues, they're all drug users. And New South Wales Police is listening to them, looking at them going, these people are all junkies. They're junkies. And they've just slandered me. And you're letting them get away with criminal defamation for 9 years. This is really disgusting, Australia. You need to wake up. Australia needs to check itself and have a good hard look and its behavior and who it gives credit to.